He's a crocheter and fabulous work.
I can't handle you, okay. But I made these with the Chunky Pom Pom Parfait Chunky Pom Pom Sprinkle yarn. That is a mouthful to say, is it not? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki, and on today's video, we're going to be chatting about some Christmas crochet patterns that I recommend and that I have personally made. So I have tested all of these. This is not one of those huge reviews where they give you 50 patterns, but they haven't actually made any of them. I have made all of these patterns and have tested them myself, and I'm ready to share because some of them are worth your time. So we're going to go through just a couple free and paid patterns, Christmas patterns that you should make this Christmas. Let's go. First up on our Christmas patterns that you should make this Christmas. I know there's not a whole lot of time before Christmas. There's only about 4 weeks. But most of these projects you can do in less than a day. So my first one that I recommend is this adorable gingerbread man. And not to be outdone, there's also a gingerbread girl with a cute little bow. So these gingerbread people are a free pattern from Annie Caraway Art, and you can find the YouTube tutorial on YouTube. I will also link it below. But I made it with the brown sprinkle yarn, we're going to call it, from Premier. And these turned out super adorable. They're small. They're the perfect size for kids to carry around. I have a child who absolutely loves these. And they really work up very quickly and easily. So I think, yes, it was a no-sew pattern as well. So when we make it, you crochet the arms as you go around. And I just love these. I think they're adorable. You can change up the colors on the buttons, and I would definitely recommend these to make for Christmas. The next pattern that I recommend for Christmas is this Grinch. And let me tell you, he turned out way bigger than I thought he would, but on the other hand, I also did use blanket yarn, so I had no idea going into it how big he would be. But this is a free pattern from Little Crochet Farm, and I actually found this one by searching on Pinterest for some crochet Christmas ideas. And I do have a couple fans of the Grinch in my house, so I thought, why not try to make the Grinch for a Christmas decoration? So I did have to kind of use my own creativity here for the top to do his hair. But other than that, it was pretty straightforward to make this one. I do love adding the little scarf as well. And yeah, he turned out really cute. I used actually the same blanket yarn that I used for my zombie ghosts this fall. So I had a lot of this left over. And I actually think he turned out in a really good size. If you do look at the pattern on Pinterest and then on their website, they make it with number 4 worsted weight yarn. So it does come out a lot smaller than blanket yarn, but I think it actually turned out really cute. So this would be another pattern that I would recommend to make this Christmas. All right, next on our list is a paid pattern. So I did say most of the patterns that I'm going to recommend are paid, but they are about $5 or under. So it's really not a huge investment. So the next one I'm going to recommend is this small stocking pattern. I think it's called the mini stocking pattern from Little Baby Rory Crafts. So I really liked this pattern because of the different sizes and that it does open and you can put things in them. So when I originally bought this pattern, it didn't have that modification, but now if you buy it, it does come with that modification. I did modify it on my own to make it so that I could put things in it, and I actually made one for everyone in my family this year. So here is my stocking, one of my daughters. It's really easy to make these your own and use whatever colors you want to use. And here is another one I made. So I made 4 stockings that are hanging by our fireplace this year. I used Parfait Plush mainly for the stockings. For the smaller stocking, I use Parfait Chunky Glitz with the cardinal color, and then I can't remember what this green color is called, but it's the glitter one. So I think these are going to be really cute. I was thinking for my kids' teachers to put a little gift card in here, or just like a little something for them as a way to give them a gift card rather than putting it just in an envelope. So this pattern was very easy to make. I was a little bit intimidated just because I've never tried to make a sock before, or anything that even looked like a stocking. So I wasn't too sure when I started making it, but she does include a couple videos that were really helpful. And pretty much all you're going to do is crochet, and then you leave a hole that you come in and crochet closed later, and then you add a hanger. And I think it turned out so cute.
Yeah, it really did.
Things. Thank you. I love many things. So this was great. And also the big version, I really love too. It's not huge. I probably could make one even bigger than this for the fireplace, but I think they are big enough where it does work and they don't look strange. And I think they're cute. I'm very much into putting faces on things right now. So I love the eyes, I love the smile, and it's just a really fun way to display my crochet in our house.
Best mom in the whole wide world, because she makes all these stuffies for all of her kids, and she's the best. Ever, 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 ever. I love her so much.
My next pattern that I recommend is also by little baby Rory Crafts. And this one is the mini and the big. You're sensing a theme, right? Mini, big stocking, mini and big wreath is next on my list. So this one, I'm not going to lie, was a lot more challenging to make than I originally thought. Not that I couldn't do it, but compared to the stocking, this one was more challenging. However, I think it's also more aesthetically pleasing to look at. Like, you can tell more work went into it, and it is so cute. It's so tiny, and it has eyes and a mouth and an adorable bow. And I made this one in the Parfait Chunky Glitz again, the green color and the red color. So I would also recommend this one. I believe if you buy just the mini or just the big, it is under $5. If you buy them together, I think it again is a little bit more, maybe like $6.50 for the bundle. And then here is the larger wreath. I am hanging this one on my wall this year, and it turned out really cute. I had to use 25 millimeter eyes, which I've never used eyes that big. But I think it turned out really cute. I would recommend making this one. If you don't love making things with tiny parts though, maybe skip this one. It does have a lot of tiny parts, which I'm not a huge fan of. I will do it, and it is worth it. But while I'm doing it, I'm kicking myself like, why am I doing this one? Okay. Do I still recommend it? Yes, I do, because I think the final product is worth it. However, during it, I'm like, ugh. It's kind of like making an octopus with 8 legs or making an axolotl with all those like tiny little things coming off of it. I'm just personally not a huge fan of all the little parts, but I think this one was so worth it. So I would make this one again. Same thing for the large wreath. You make 8 separate, I'm going to call them humps. I know they're not humps, but you make 8 separate pieces, and then you crochet them together. And then you make the bow, but very, very cute.
Mommy, drink break.
Okay, so that is the next one that I would recommend. There are some downsides I said about making this one, but overall I would recommend it, especially if you don't mind making things with tiny pieces. Go for it, because you are going to love this one because there's lots of tiny pieces, okay? And again, do I want to make a million of these? No, I don't. But would I make a couple? Yeah, I would, and I'd probably enjoy it. But yeah, just don't sign me up to make 100 of these, because I'm not a big fan of all the tiny pieces.
And there's a tree one from my mom, and it's the best. It's so cute. I thought it would be really tiny, but it's really big. So I hope you have a good time watching this other video of my mom talking about this cute Christmas trees. There are both Wolf Star and Wolf Dot. both of those. So one with ornaments, one with not, and they're very cute. So make sure having to watch it very cute, and make sure to leave a like, subscribe down below.
Wow. Okay. You can't beat those introductions, right? Next pattern that I recommend is this Christmas tree. You guys, I don't think I've had a more fun time making a plushie in a while until I made this tree. I just absolutely, again, love, I mean, I think I say I love them all, but this one I really loved making. I wasn't too sure about it. I had my eye on it for a while, and then I saw some other people sharing it on Instagram, and I was like, yes, I have to get that one. So this is a paid pattern. It was $4.99 from AQ Crochets. Again, I'm going to link all of these patterns down below if you want to check them out. For a $5 pattern, I thought completely worth it. It's so unique. I just love how simple it is, but how beautiful it turns out. I love a pattern that is simple, but when you finish it, it doesn't look simple. But as you're crocheting it, you're like, oh, this is no problem. I can crochet and I can listen to something, and like it's no problem to do. And then when you finish it, it really is like a wow factor. So I feel like this has got some wow factor in it. I love the color that I use. I did use blanket yarn. I can't exactly remember. I want to say this is like the Bernat blanket sage color. And adding the face, adding the cute snow, which is so appropriate because we're supposed to get a snowstorm tomorrow, about like 6 to 10 inches here in Wisconsin. So something to look forward to. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this pattern from AQ Crochets to make the Christmas tree. So what's great about this pattern is that it's kind of a 2-for-1, and you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do. So for this one, I added the snow on it, but you could also make it with no snow. And you don't have to add the star to the top, but you can. And I'm going to show you the other one I made. So I also made this version, same pattern, just slightly changed to add in bobble stitches for the ornaments. And I also love how this one turned out. I need to still add a star to the top because it does look like it's missing something. I know. I need to add a star. I will add a star. I just haven't done it yet. But this one turned out super cute as well. Again, you have the option if you want to add the snow, you can, or you could just do that green and not have snow on the tree. And you can really make the ornament any color that you want. She had one that was rainbow colored. I chose to just do red and green ornaments, but you really can't go wrong. You could also do something that matches your home decor. And I like that these are very versatile, and you could leave off the smile, which sometimes elevates. I do love a plushie with a smile, but sometimes it does elevate the look of the plushie if it doesn't have a smile. So I would definitely recommend getting this one and making it before Christmas. Last on my list is my own pattern that I just put out on YouTube, and it's for a chunky Christmas ornament. These take maybe 20 to 30 minutes. They are very beginner friendly, super fast to make, and they turned out really nice. You can use whatever colors you want for these ornaments. It's like think of like a plushie as an ornament. Again, very beginner friendly, very easy to make. Really, all you're doing is you're putting 2 circles together, single crocheting around, and then adding the hanger. So these are great for markets. Again, great for someone young who's just learning how to crochet, maybe someone old who's learning how to crochet, because, that's okay too. And these are also cute if you don't do a face and maybe do some different colors. There's lots of options. So definitely go check out my free tutorial to make this chunky no-sew Christmas ornament. And that is last on my list, you guys. So I know that wasn't 50 patterns long. Oh, what do we got? We got one more. Hang on. Surprise. We all make mistakes as we crochet, and I don't even know if I can call her a mistake, but she is kind of a blooper. So I did try to put together a Mrs. Claus pattern this fall, but I'm not super happy with how she turned out. I feel like she looks a little bit like a bowling pin. She is cute, but I think if I was ever going to release this pattern, I would definitely want to redo some parts of her, like maybe bring the maybe give her a neck so she's not such a blob bowling pin. So she's cute. So this doesn't count as a pattern because you can't go make this one. I don't think you'd want to go make it anyways, but maybe someday I can rework Mrs. Claus and put out a better pattern for her. But I did try, and I think what's great about crochet is that you can always try new things, and sometimes they don't work out, and that's okay. It's such a great learning experience to go through and try to think about, okay, how would I put this together? What does it look like if I'm trying to write a pattern? What do these different things do? What do single crochets and double crochets? And how does that affect your pattern as you make it? So even though Mrs. Claus was a fail, that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. I think it's great that I tried something new. I tried to make my own pattern. I did try Santa as well, but I ended up having to frog the whole thing because I just wanted the yarn back and realized he was not going to work out. So Mrs. Claus, I'm going to keep as a reminder of, that I should always try new things, and sometimes they don't work out, and that's okay too. At least I'm trying and I'm using that creative part of my brain to try something new. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that helped give you some ideas of some things that you could make this Christmas. Again, Christmas is pretty soon. It's only about 4 weeks away. So I know it's not a ton of time, but these projects don't take a ton of time and you could make them in less than a day. So make sure you check out the links below. Again, most of them are paid, but there are a couple free options as well. And just know that there's nothing wrong with paying for a pattern and spending a little bit of money to support another crochet artist. I think that is such a great thing. Again, thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I had a great time just going through my house and picking out all the things that I've made for Christmas this year and testing those patterns. And I'm so excited to share them with you. All right, make sure that you
subscribe down below. If you're watching on TV, just hit our little face of my cute
hit my
mom,
face.
And
I'm gonna use that from now.
And you will be subscribed. So if you love to crochet, maybe this will be a good skill to do. So make sure to watch my mom, Nikki.
All right, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.
Bye.